Breaking news! There was a lot of buzz around the web recently, with a good portion of fans assuming that it was about time for this to happen and that Kevin Stefanski took too long to make this decision. I'm going to give you all the details, so be sure to hit that like button to stay up to date with everything that happens here. Trust me, you won't want to miss a thing as we navigate this roller coaster of a season together. Now, let's get to it. Big changes are brewing in Cleveland with Dorian Thompson-Robinson taking over as the Browns' starting quarterback, replacing Jameis Winston. It's a decision that's raising eyebrows, especially since the Browns are 3-11 heading into what has been a grueling 2024 season. But is this a move born out of necessity, desperation, or simply a look to the future? Let's break it down. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, or DTR as we call him, has been here before. Last year, he came in as a rookie for a few games, including a rough start in Week 4 against the Baltimore Ravens, where the Browns fell 28-3. Reflecting on that game, DTR admitted it was a whirlwind of emotions, excitement, nerves, and the overwhelming thought of "don't blow this." He's come a long way since then, but the numbers aren't exactly in his favor. In his rookie year, DTR completed just 53.6% of his passes for 440 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions in 8 games. This year, his stats are even shakier, just 15 completions on 34 attempts for 100 yards and 3 interceptions. So why the change now? Head coach Kevin Stefanski hasn't been shy about making quarterback changes, but his latest move leaves fans with more questions than answers. Stefanski benched Winston late in last week's game against the Chiefs after Winston threw his 3rd interception of the day. This marked Winston's 3rd 3-interception game since taking over for the injured Deshaun Watson in Week 8. When pressed about the quarterback situation, Stefanski remained evasive, saying he would decide what's best for the team as they prepare for the divisional showdown against the Bengals. Winston's time in Cleveland has been a mixed bag. On one hand, he's shown flashes of brilliance, completing over 61% of his passes and averaging over 300 yards per game. On the other hand, his turnover problem has been glaring, with 13 touchdowns and 12 interceptions in just 7 starts. The Browns knew they were taking a risk when they signed him to a 1-year, $4 million deal, and it appears that gamble hasn't paid off. But here's the thing, does this trade matter in the grand scheme of things? The Browns' offensive struggles go far beyond the quarterback position. Their offensive line has been porous, their running game has been inconsistent, and their defense, while occasionally brilliant, hasn't been reliable enough to keep games within reach. It's a systemic problem, not just a quarterback problem. Looking ahead, the Browns are in a tough spot. They're essentially locked into Deshaun Watson's massive contract for the next 2 years, making it nearly impossible to bring in another high-level quarterback without sacrificing key pieces elsewhere. And while drafting a quarterback might seem like a solution, it's a risky move that could set the team back even further if it doesn't work out. Remember, this is a team with pressing needs at every level: offensive line, secondary, and yes, even the running game. Fixing all of that in one offseason is a tall order. So, where does DTR fit into all of this? The reality is that he's likely not the long-term answer for the Browns. But with 3 games left in a lost season, giving him the reins might be less about winning now and more about gathering data for the future. The Browns are projected to pick 7th overall in next year's draft, and every snap DTR takes could help the front office make more informed decisions come April. Meanwhile, let's not forget the human element of this story. DTR's teammates have rallied around him, offering their support as he steps into the spotlight once again. It's a testament to his work ethic and resilience, even in the face of adversity. And while his performances haven't been stellar, there's something to be said for a young quarterback willing to learn and grow on the fly. As we gear up for Sunday's matchup against the Bengals, all eyes will be on DTR. Can he rise to the occasion and prove he deserves a spot on this roster next year? Or will the Browns' quarterback carousel keep spinning, leaving fans to wonder what might have been? All right, Browns fans, it's time to hear from you. What do you think of the decision to start DTR? Is this the right move for the team, or should they have stuck with Winston? And looking ahead to next season, what changes do you think the Browns need to make to get back on track? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, the Cleveland Browns have just made a notable addition to their practice squad, signing former Georgia Bulldogs and Florida State tight end Trey McKitty. For those unfamiliar with McKitty, he's now in his fourth season in the NFL and still looking to make a big splash in the league. McKitty played college basketball at Florida State from 2017 to 2019 before transferring to Georgia for the 2020 season. During his college career, he recorded 56 receptions for 628 yards and 3 touchdowns, not impressive numbers, but solid enough to catch the attention of NFL scouts. In 2021, the Los Angeles Chargers selected McKitty in the third round of the draft, number 97 overall. Unfortunately, his time with the Chargers didn't go as planned. Over the course of 3 seasons, McKitty only caught 16 passes for 117 yards and never reached the end zone. After being released by the Chargers in October 2023, he briefly signed with the Buffalo Bills practice squad but was released in August 2024. Now, McKitty gets another chance with the Browns, and it couldn't come at a better time. Starting tight end David Njoku is currently dealing with a hamstring injury that sidelined him during last week's loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. With the team struggling to a 3-11 record this season, opportunities like this are exactly what players like McKitty need to prove themselves in the NFL. But it's not just about McKitty. The Browns also made a notable move earlier this week by releasing another tight end, Cameron Latu, from the practice squad. Latu, a former third-round pick of the San Francisco 49ers in 2023, didn't play a single NFL game due to an injury in his rookie season and limited opportunities since. Cleveland signed him to the practice squad in August, but it appears the team has decided to go in a different direction. While McKitty brings raw athleticism to the table, he faces stiff competition on the Browns roster. Behind Pro Bowl starter David Njoku, Cleveland already has Jordan Akins, Blake Whiteheart, and now McKitty competing for snaps. Akins, a reliable veteran, has been solid this season, while Whiteheart offers potential as a younger option. McKitty will need to make an immediate impression to continue. This signing also reflects a larger strategy for the Browns as they look toward 2025. With several key players set to hit free agency and a disappointing 2024 campaign nearing its end, the team is clearly using the remaining games and roster adjustments as a testing ground. They're looking for diamonds in the rough, players like McKitty, who can step up and contribute next season. So, Browns fans, what do you think of this move? Does Trey McKitty have what it takes to earn a role in Cleveland, or is this just another short-term audition? And how do you feel about the team's overall tight end depth? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with the latest Browns news. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Browns!